So I want to share something that's been on my heart recently. All right, we got Isaiah. All right, check it. This stuff go hard. All right. A couple of verses first before we start. First off, I know I'm wearing all my HEB stuff. It's because it's cold outside. It's like 38 degrees when I took Amber out. Amber, come here. Up. Come here. Come on. She doing Bible study with me. Hello. Good girl. Anyway, so I know a lot of you at work see and hear things and talk and do whatever. I'm aware of everything, nor do I really care. It's only really those who have the sack to come over and to actually address things with me, and then I'll tell you, whatever. But rumors are just rumors, or narratives are just narratives. Whatever. People are gonna talk. People are gonna believe whatever they want. But I do got a couple of verses with you, right? We got Proverbs 3:5 through 6. It says to trust in the Lord with all of your heart. Pay close attention to specific words. Trust in the Lord with all of your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, submit to him and he will make your path straight. If you're leaning on your own understanding, you might be successful. You might be able to do these things, but there are some, whatever, you might be able to get a car, get a job, or whatever the case. Good job. Some people were just built different. Good for you, pal. Anyway, but I do know there are things that when life starts crushing you and you have no other option, don't lean on your own understanding. In fact, pray, seek guidance, and I promise you things will work out. More or less, you need to be submitting to God's will in order for these things to happen, Proverbs 3:5, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. And then we have Romans 12:2, to allow, it says, do not conform to the patterns of the world, but instead allow the transformation of your mind. Allow the transformation of your mind. Allow the things in the Word to replace the thoughts that you already have. It says, trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not on your own understanding, to allow the transformation of your mind. If you're catching my drift. To allow what's written in here to transform your mind. I promise you there is not one principle that you will take in here that will not dramatically change your life. If you start treating people like you would, putting others first, dramatically change. If you start taking care of your finances and, exhibiting self-control, dramatic change. There's not one small, simple principle that you cannot do that will not dramatically change your life. Anyway, so we got Proverbs 3:5, lean not on your own understanding. We got Romans 12:2, which says to not conform to the world, but to allow the transformation of your mind. We got James 1:22 that says, be doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving yourself. Right? It's just 1, 2, 3. If you are doers of the word, you can listen, you can read it, you can go to church, but that don't make you a Christian. You can go to work and put in so many hours, that doesn't make you a good employee. You can start hobbies and crafts or whatever the case, but if you're not putting in time and effort, that doesn't mean it's going to take off. You need to really set structure, and this has a lot of good structure. Now let me go to a quick summary of this before I get into this, into the next part. The Bible is literally only to understand God's character. Everything about, in my opinion, the reason why the Bible is so credible, so many people wrote it, oh my goodness, this. They were inspired by things that had happened in their life. Now, the reason why I say that is the Bible is over 4,000, let's just say 2,000 years old. Old ancient book that everybody has on their bookcase that's just collecting dust, right? If you took a survey of 20 people to write, not even 20 people, if you took the entire warehouse, work environment, a church, to write on a specific matter, you will not have, let alone like 50, 100, you won't even have like 20 people in that room to come up with the same thing in a single day. You know, like this was like divinely inspired, right? Now, the start of the Bible, God was lonely and he wanted to create people so he can pour his love into it. You know, it was like, I want to do this, so I'm going to do this. He loved us, he created us, and he doesn't want to create us as a robot, so he has to give us a choice to follow him or to not follow him. Now, the problem with following him and how they went about following him is what brought the destruction upon the world and what brings us to here we are today. That was at the very beginning of the book, the very first couple of verses, chapters. He created man, he wanted to be with man, and he wants to pour his love into somebody. Sorry, everybody's here. This is our Sabbath. We're hanging back and chilling. Anyway, the rest of the book is just him chasing us down. The entire time in the entire book is him relentlessly, recklessly pursuing us. Reckless means to do something with no care of the consequences. He does not care who is for you, who is against you, what happens to you, what had happened to you, what you are doing. He still wants you. He doesn't care for anything else. He is going to pursue you. He is going to love you. He is going to care for you. Keep that in mind. Anyway, this is what I'm getting at. Check this out. You are supposed to allow the transformation of your mind. We're supposed to allow God to infiltrate our lives and to love us. Be a man of God, be a woman of God. Here's something that I wanted to bring up. Not slamming nobody. This is what the word says. I'm the messenger, don't shoot the messenger. The Lord says the women of Zion are haughty, Haughty, walking along with outstretched necks, flirting their eyes, strutting along with swaying hips, with ornaments jingling on their ankles. Therefore the Lord will bring sores on the heads of women of Zion. The Lord will make their scalps bald. Verse 18, before we continue there, the reason why this came up is because I went outside on break or whatever, and I saw a couple of the homies sitting there, and I have a patch on my bib, not this one but my other one, that says y'all need Jesus, and they're like, yeah, you need Jesus, and I was like, I very much do need Jesus, you as well. He was like, nah, he said he needs pussy, and I said, brother, you don't need that. And then the two other dudes, they were agreeing with him. No, you really don't. You really don't. For someone who has been seeking that and who has exhibited horrendous self-control, like just very little to none, if anything, you do not need that. Swear on it. You do not need that. And excuse me, we shouldn't swear, but I promise you, you do not need that. Anyway, this verse came to mind because I was just reading in Isaiah. I don't know why, but just the timing of everything was great. Anyway, so verse 18, in that day the Lord will snatch away their finery, the bangles, the headbands, and crescent necklaces, the earrings and bracelets and veils, the headdresses and anklets and sashes, the perfume bottles and charms, the signet rings, the nose rings, the fine robes and the capes and cloaks and purses and mirrors and linen garments and tiaras and shawls. Material things. She's all like, I don't need no man, or I need this, I deserve this, I don't deserve this, pay for my nails, do this. I remember I was talking to this one chick like forever ago, earlier in the year. She was, she's like, don't get me wrong, she's heartbroken, you know, and I'm all like, oh, well, I'll be the man, I can fix things and this and that. Despite all of her needs, she wanted her nails to get done. Not that I wasn't willing, but I wanted to show her that her heart was not in the right place. I'm talking, her kids are sleeping on the floor. She got 3 kids. She's alone. crazy mess of things. I'm like, I'm trying to show you that there are more important things, and the fact that you need approval from me pouring into you when my focus is to pour into the rest of you and what's attached to you first, right? She didn't like that. Anyway, so these kind of women, I know you understand it. Instead of fragrance, they will be a stench. Instead of a sash, a robe. Instead of well-dressed hair, baldness. Instead of fine clothing, sackcloth. Instead of beauty, branding. Your men will fall by the sword, your warriors in battle. The gates of Zion will lament and mourn. Destitute, she will sit on the ground. In that day, 7 women will take hold of one man and say, we will eat our own food and provide our own clothes. Only let us be called by your name. Take away our disgrace. Do you know what this is saying? They're saying we are so tired of the lives and the situation that we had brought ourselves to. We need somebody to... We need a man. They're so desperate. They need a man to guide them, care for them, and do all these things. They're like, we'll do all these other things. We just want to be under you. It catches up to them. Anyway, I have another verse. Check this out. And I'm guilty of this. God had showed me this specifically. I need Proverbs. Ecclesiastes. Proverbs. All right, hold on. Let's get there. Psalms, golly. Proverbs 3. Or is it 5? 5. My son, pay attention to my wisdom. Turn your ear to my words of insight, that you may maintain discretion. From your lips may preserve knowledge. For the lips of the adulterous woman drip honey. She got sweet, seducing words. You watch yourself. And her speech is smoother than oil. But in the end, she is bitter as gall, sharp as a double-edged sword. Her feet go down to death. Her steps lead straight to the grave. She gives no thought to her way of life. Her paths wander aimlessly, but she does not know it. Now then, my son, listen to me. Do not turn aside from what I say. Keep to a path far from her. Do not go near the doors of her house, lest you lose your honor to others and your dignity to one who is cruel. What was that? Lest strangers feast on your wealth and your toil enrich the house of another. At the end, let strangers feast on your wealth and your toil enrich the house of another. You be sleeping around with these adulterous women. You end up getting her pregnant. You're tied to these people. But because she's on this path and she wants to do what she wants to do, she's going to go out, find another man. She's going to still keep you around, and all of your hard work is going to go pitch into this little ministry thing that they can clothe themselves with God. So going back to those other verses, Proverbs 3:5, lean not on your own understanding, allow the transformation of your mind, and James 1:22, which says to be doers of the word, not hearers only. Those are really, Jesus says that you will know my followers by their fruits. These people, this woman, the adulterous woman who has lips of honey, she's smooth with it. She rock with it or what? I don't really care for the tango, lingo. I don't really know. They can say they're Christian. They can go to church, but they're not going to go to church, or they're not going for the right reason. They're doing it all for image. Lest strangers feast on your wealth and your toil enrich the house of another. You are going to be stuck in work for these people if you intertwine yourself with that. I'm guilty of it. Sharing the message. Don't fall into it.